This thing is priced at around the 1 lakh rupee mark. What we have seen is the top model, which is 1 lakh 10, I think, which has the LED headlight and the disc. You can take away the disc and save some money and you get a drum instead. And you can take away the LED headlight also and then you get the drum bulb, which is the cheapest, which is at 95 or so, 90 or 95. Bajaj is also angling for a GST cut. So if they can get a GST cut, I'm assuming a 10% saving further, then the prices will fall 10%. I don't know whether this will happen or not, because as far as I can tell, GST is finance.
But this is pretty good value as it is.
It is pretty good value. It can be better. So what Rajiv is saying, that since we are trying something new, since it aligns with the government's goals of spreading our fuel dependencies out across multiple fuels and hedging that bet, since we're helping with all of this, it should get a GST cut so that more people can buy it. If the finance ministry buys that argument and gives them a GST cut, then I don't know that they'll give you more than 10% of savings. But that discussion is ongoing. When I think Mr. Gadkari was asked about this, he just smiled and said, "Ye to finance ministry dekhega," and he avoided that. So we don't know what's going to happen on that front. But fundamentally, I think Bajaj have a very, very powerful idea here, because this is an effective commuter. It makes the right promises, it tickles the right bones, and it is going to the right place, and it feels proper. So today, just to check this out, I followed an Activa delivery guy just because. I didn't do anything that he didn't. And this bike felt completely natural. Like it was wet. I was telling I was tenterhooks. So I just slowed down to the Activa space and it felt, okay, I'm plugged in. I understand what this is about. So I'm really happy to have ridden it. It's a really impressive product. The packaging that they pulled off is very, very impressive.
I'm not going to do a summary because he's already done the summary. So I'm just going to add in things that we haven't spoken about. One of the things is, and talking about delivery and all, it's got very obvious bungee points for you to strap stuff onto, which is also very nicely
done. And apparently they are load rated to 10-15 kilos each.
Oh, really?
And the idea is that you can really load that thing up.
It felt well made, well finished.
Yeah. It's mounted, it's a metal mount. It is mounted directly to the frame. It's not mounted on a single bolt. It's mounted on two bolts each. They've made sure. And I don't think they've officially claimed the rating. But as I understand it, 10-15 kilos is the load rating. Again, I go back to the payload question. This is a 150 kilo payload. So I'm sure Bajaj might have built some safety margin into this, but please don't try and overload this bike just because it looks like it should be able to.
Any bike. Because remember, I think, forget about the performance. The thing that you need to remember about those instances is what you want is to be able to stop effectively. And when you overload a bike, the one thing that will not respond as well are your brakes, because it's just too much force.
Correct. The only thing I forgot to mention in this whole thing is the seat. The seat feels like the top is curved up. That hurts.
It creates a pressure point.
It hurts. Okay, so yesterday I rode a 70-80 kilometer stretch, 84 kilometer stretch continuously. And within the first 30-35 kilometers, that seat was hurting. And the feeling that I have is that the seat was like this, and therefore it was hurting. If the seat was just as firm, but flat, I think the pain would stop. So I think there is an opportunity for Bajaj to just reevaluate. It could just be the quilting. It might just be the shape of the foam on top, the contouring of the foam. One of those two things is definitely going to cause a pain. Okay, the length of the seat was useful in the sense of I do carry a large bag and it was nowhere close to my body. I had lots of space on the bike to move around, etc. Good. So when I needed to shift around to distribute the weight and take the pain away, I had options. But does this bike really need such a long seat? No. Does it need a better seat? Yes.
Okay. Listen, this has been fun, and I think we should take this to the next level. I think our relationship's ready for it. And if you're ready, head to the MotorInc channel, where this 3-minute video ends up expanding into a hour-long video, which would be a great way for us to spend time when you're taking a jog, in a flight, commuting to work, or back. We'd love to hang out more.